I'm here to introduce Justin Mark Chenet. He's a high school senior at Thornton Academy, and he is the station manager of TATV, which is a local station which does multiple public broadcasts concerning politics and other things. He hosts 3 different shows, and he's interviewed people such as John Baldacci and Tom Allen. He likes informing people of current events in politics and giving them the answers they deserve. And he's come a long way. He started in 7th grade hosting his morning news show at his middle school, and now he's the station manager. He was a 2007 ambassador. He also went to the 2007 World Leadership Conference, and he says the HOBY was a life-changing experience. Here it is.
Good afternoon. How's everyone doing?
Outstanding!
There we go. I was just testing you. Don't worry. I just want to talk a little bit about my HOBY experience just to start off. As Andrew said, I was a 2007 HOBY ambassador. And I remember about 2 years ago today, I walked in. It was a rainy day, which I was really nervous because my hair was getting all messed up. And my glass, they didn't have, the window wipers. So I was like, oh my God, I'm a mess. But I walked in here and we were all circled about. And so I was like, okay, what is this going on? So I walked in, and so they wanted us to find our adjective, an adjective of your first name or whatever. And I was Jubilant Justin, which is really, really exciting. But I was like, what is this? Then we started doing these weird things called cheers. And we were doing, baby shark doo-doo. And I was like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? This is not going to be a fun weekend. I need my migraine pills. But after the weekend was over, it was such a life-changing experience for me because I was able to really find myself and learn all about leadership, which of course is very, very exciting. But leadership, as we are here today and for this weekend, can be defined in a many variety of ways. If you look in the dictionary, you'll find that leadership is defined a certain way. Maybe George Washington will have a quote on leadership, Barack Obama. Maybe even Sarah Palin may have a little don't you know kind of quote about leadership. So there's a variety of definitions out there. HOBY defines leadership a certain way. You like Sarah Palin?
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Oh yeah. So leadership can be defined in a variety of different ways, but it fundamentally comes down to what you interpret leadership to be. What do you think leadership is all about? Now, I'll tell you what I think it is, but again, it's about what you think. But here's what I think of when I think of leadership. I define it in 3 different categories. Number 1, personal leadership. Number 2, professional leadership. And number 3, service-oriented leadership. And I do think that there's 3 distinct categories. Let's talk about personal leadership and dig in there. Personal leadership, I use this analogy, so try to stick with me. You are like the driver in the car of life on the highway of self-discovery. Let me repeat that. You are the driver in the car of life on the highway of self-discovery. So think about that for a minute. You have to take responsibility for your own life. Nobody else can do that for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not faculty, you. And that is providing leadership. Because you're having to say, I respect myself, I accept myself for who I am, who I want to be. And that's not an easy task to do. I mean, you may face staunch opposition from other people. Why are you so passionate about what you do? Why do you like all about yourself? When you wake up in the morning, do you say, oh my God, I cannot wait for today. Today's going to be outstanding. I can't wait to face the day. I'm going to be all about myself and I'm going to help people. But there are other people that aren't like that. There are going to be people in the wake up, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to see those people, they're so fake, and I have to put on a smile because deep down I don't really accept myself, and blah, blah, blah. But it's key to take that leadership. I do think that there's a clear distinction there, is that leadership of accepting and respecting yourself and understanding your role in society. Now, part of that leads into professional leadership, is finding something that you're really passionate about doing. So, for instance, I'm very passionate about broadcast journalism. I love it. Every time that camera turns on, I feel like this surge of creative energy flowing through my veins, that this is what I need to be doing for the rest of my life. It's fantastic. So I found what I'm passionate about doing, but for a lot of people, they don't know what they're going to do for the rest of their life, and that's okay. But I guess the biggest misconception people have is that you have plenty of time to figure it out. Oh, you're a young person, don't worry about it, you have many years. Don't think that way. You don't have a lot of time, actually. Coming from somebody with experience, the sooner you know what you're passionate about doing, the easier it's going to be for you in the long run. But how can you do that? Well, by providing professional leadership and getting involved in a variety of activities, so extracurricular, sports, taking different courses. Now's the time to experiment, to really test the waters, if you will, to see what your interest level is in a particular activity or for a particular topic, and to find that passionate spark within you. And each person has that. Each person has that spark. We're all put on this earth for a reason. It's time to find out what that is. So you do have a little bit of time to test the waters, but try to find out what that is. And once you find that passion deep inside you, then you can be like, okay, now what do I do with it? Well, it's called goal settings. It's a fun activity that HOBY hopefully will teach you this weekend if you haven't done so already. And that's part of being a professional leader, is goal settings for yourself. So what you need to do, is what I do, is I set a long-term goal. So for instance, my long-term goal would be to be a national correspondent or a national broadcast journalist. That's my long-term goal. But there are specific tasks that you need to accomplish. Think of them as stepping stones, if you will, on life's pathway in order to reach that long-term goal. And by doing that, you're thinking ahead, you're planning, you're organizing, all about being a professional leader. So once you find yourself in personal leadership, once you have what you're passionate about doing or your interest level, then you can actually help other people because you've already helped yourself. And that's critically important. So it's service leadership is the third one that I define leadership as. Now, service leadership is all about what HOBY's about, helping others, being a part of the community. Service above self. That's what it's really about. So how can you serve others but tapping into that, passionate spark that you have within you? Well, let's say your passion is for helping people, okay? But your interest level is in animals, okay? So you're kind of thinking about being a veterinarian, okay? How can you serve your community, tapping into that passion and that interest level? You can volunteer at a local animal shelter. That way, you're not only helping people and animals, but you're also doing something that you love to do, that you're interested in, which is critically important. So you can apply all three categories of leadership in your life. We all can do it. Obviously, there's specific skill sets that come with being a leader that we all kind of know about. We're going to be learning at HOBY. Communication, for instance, being a good leader. Listener. I was like touching my ear there. I was like, listener. Okay, so being a good listener is key. And being a good communicator in the sense that advocating for yourself, understanding what you want, what message you want to convey, and trying to articulate that point. And that comes with practice. Maybe going in the mirror every day and being like, hi, I'm a little nervous. Oh, let me practice this. And looking in the mirror, and maybe it really does. It really helps. So applying those three categories of leadership is critically important. Personal leadership, professional leadership, and service-oriented leadership. Now, we as a collective, we have the keys to our own destiny. So each of you has that responsibility to be who you want to be, to get involved in your community, and be the future of America and the world. And that's a huge responsibility to put on our shoulders, but think about that for a minute. Because once our parents' generation kind of moves on to the seasoned category, yes, that was politically correct. We're going to be the leaders of tomorrow, but we have to do something about it today. And I think that's critically important to understand is that it's going to be a huge responsibility. So by getting involved now, we're starting that whole civic engagement process, and which is really, really important in the long run. I'm going to kind of dive in from that. I was watching TV last night, and I came across a commercial. It was a Home Depot commercial, which I wouldn't normally watch because I'm not into that. But anyway, it came across on the TV, and it said, what did it say? It said, you can do it, we can help. Okay? And at first I was like, yeah. But then I thought about it. You can do it, we can help. And so I started to think about the world and how it's going to be our responsibility to be the leaders of tomorrow. So essentially, if you take that quote, you can do it, we can help. If you think of your parents telling you that, or the current leadership in office, it really makes sense. Our parents' generation are going to be the ones to assist us, but it's ultimately going to be up to us to do something about it. It's going to be ultimately up to us to get involved and to be leaders in your own communities, both locally and then eventually nationally, which is really important to understand.